What season are you in right now?
Winter.
Ridiculous. What changed first then in that situation? Was it your body or your mind?
Ooh, my mind.
So what do you think now everything's changed in your life and you're here? Where does success lead you now? What does it look like? What would you say to the woman scared to let go of who she used to be?
Welcome back to the Stronger with Scarlett podcast. Happy New Year to all the listeners. Welcome to 2026. I hope you've got your goals in place and your mindset. Danielle and I, my first guest on the podcast, she's returning. We've just got back from our first gym session of the new year. And on the way home, we were just deciding that actually for this week's podcast, we should flip the narrative. And I'm not going to host this episode. Danielle's going to host. She has 20 questions for me. They're going to be quite quick fire. And I just thought this would be a really nice way to reset my tone for the new year instead of me asking all the questions, actually to make me think a little bit about what's going on in my 2026. So if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, drop the video a like, give it a share, settle in. I reckon we've got 20 to 30 minutes of
Quick question.
As long as I don't talk too much. So let's go, girl.
Oh, how the tide has turned. Okay, so here we go. Quick fire. Scarlett, how does it feel to be the one answering today?
I haven't really thought about it yet. Excited. Maybe. Excited, giggly, a little bit nervous, unprepared.
Great. And okay, in one word, just one word, what season are you in right now?
Winter.
Ridiculous. Okay, you can take that as any season as you want.
No, okay, let me do that again. I was stumbling over the one word bit. What season am I in? You with one word. Sorry.
She didn't. I wrote these questions literally about 10 minutes ago.
One word. What season am I in? Believing.
Love that.
Actually, my word for 2026 is belief. So believing. Okay.
Okay, so if we're looking at now, what feels heavier than it used to?
Ooh. Deadlifts.
That's not true.
No, I actually had a great deadlift session this week. What feels heavier than it used to is probably the feeling of leaving this apartment. Because, but for the audience, in a couple of weeks' time, I'll be packing up this gorgeous, cozy little place that I've called my safety net and my home for the last 2 years. And we'll be moving on to somewhere bigger and better together, won't we?
Yes.
So it's exciting, but it feels a bit heavy because this place has really been my haven, and I've had some very profound moments in this apartment, in these four walls. Things that I've never been through in my life before have happened in here. So yeah, I guess that's
I feel like I'm making her leave. Okay, this would be a better one. What feels lighter?
Oh, okay. What feels lighter is the past. I said that the other day, didn't I, in the car? I said that with a smile on my face. Yeah, it all just feels lighter. I'm not going to go into detail. It just, the past feels lighter.
Oh, love that even more. Okay.
I feel like I've released a lot lately.
Good. Okay. What are you no longer available for in
Ooh.
2026?
I had something nearly jumped out my mouth then, but I reeled it back in.
Let's keep it clean.
Because I know it was clean. I just need to... What am I no longer available for? Time wasters.
Okay. I like that. Keep it simple.
That's both personal and professional.
Okay. All right. Now we're going to go into hormones and HRT.
Okay.
Okay. Obviously, this had to be in here. What led you to starting HRT?
I mean, you could answer that question for me.
Yeah, absolutely could, but I'm asking you.
What led me to start HRT was that so it's quite deep. I was genuinely really, really worried about myself. 3-4 months ago? I mean, it's been progressively building over like the last 12 to 18 months. But about 4 months ago, there was a day where I was like, I am not okay. And I now have to start trying HRT. There's a 50-50 chance with it, and the 50% chance that it was not going to work, or that it was going to make me gain loads of weight, was what was scaring me when I was competing. But the 50% chance that it could be this miracle thing, I just needed to try it because I was desperate. And yeah, that's what made me try. Desperation.
Okay, so what changed first then in that situation? Was it your body or your mind?
Ooh, my mind. Within 2 days. It was like immediate. I mean, you noticed it.
I'm not commenting.
It was very quick. My mind changed. I just felt like me again, really, really quickly. And then my body has changed. My boobs have grown.
The mind is better than the boobs.
There's other things that have grown that I'm not so happy about.
Stop it.
But we'll deal with that. I actually put something on my Instagram story today about that, how I was showing my food and I was saying like the portion control is what either changes it into a weight cut or a bulk or a prep or whatever you're doing. And actually how my current goals aesthetically, I don't have any because I'm just giving myself 6 months on this HRT to just let my body do what it's going to do. And then I'll deal with it after.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to force it either way.
Amazing. All right. So what's the biggest myth that women believe about HRT? And this is a big one.
Ooh, okay. I mean, medically and scientifically and historically, there was some research done in the 1960s. I hope I don't get any of these facts wrong. And it was proving the HRT was bad for you or bad for women to take because it was causing breast cancer. But medicine and science has come on so much, and the way they make HRT now is so different. You can have bioidentical, body identical, not synthetic, which is what it used to be. That research was done on the wrong group of people and reported incorrectly. But basically, the biggest myth is it causes breast cancer, and it doesn't. However, having said that, when I spoke on the panel at the Menopause Summit last year, that's last year now, I actually did the Menopause and Cancer panel, and I had 2 doctors on the panel, and they were both saying it is okay for you to take HRT, but if you've got a family history of cancer, whether that's breast cancer, cervical cancer, then you should see a specialist doctor and have very careful monitoring and careful care. But it doesn't mean it's not an option for those women.
Okay, amazing. So we're going to move on to another subject, which is competing and identity.
Okay.
And firstly, when did you realise competing was coming to an end?
That's a funny one today.
I know.
I actually realised it long before I said it out loud. As always with anything with me, as you know, that a lot goes on inside my little head before it comes out of my mouth. And often for quite a long time before it comes out of my mouth. And so when it finally comes out of my mouth, you damn well better know that I have gone through every which way scenario before I say it out loud. And by the time I'm saying it out loud, it's because I've made a decision. And I won't just thoughtlessly say something. That's what I'm trying to say there. So I knew that I was done with competing 5 months before Europe's Strongest last year. And it really made prepping for Europe's really, really difficult because I just wasn't in the game. My head wasn't there. My body wasn't there either. But I don't think I said it to you until May or June. June, I think. May?
I think it was when I was out here in May.
Okay, so I'd had the realisation probably 6 weeks before then. I said it to you in May.
You were toying.
I'd spoken to somebody else about it in April. And then I spoke to you about it. And then I just cancelled 2 other competitions. I thought I'd just focus on one. And even that was really hard. And there was days of prep I loved, and there was days of prep I just thought, oh, what the fuck am I doing? I'm just doing this. You were there. You couldn't even pack that suitcase that night to go on the trip. Didn't really want to go.
I mean, let's not talk about that. She pulled everything out the wardrobe.
So yeah, there we go. A long time before, that's when I realised.
Okay.
But having said that, I did just come home today and be like, I had such a great training session today. Maybe I want to compete again.
I was like, let's maybe talk about that a little bit just over the next week and see how you feel.
Okay, yeah, we will.
Okay, so this is one, because you've always competed, no matter what it was in, your whole life.
Mm-hmm.
And you've always been very competitive in the athletic field. Who are you without competing?
Well, delving deep. Who am I? I'm a coach. I'm an educator. I'm a friend, an artist, a published author. So yeah, obviously once I'd made the decision to stop competing, it enabled me to focus on releasing the book that I'd already been writing throughout the year anyway. But with prep and things, it was too hard to do everything all at once. So I published my book. So yeah, an author. And as you know, but I'm not sure how much I've said, I've got a couple of other books that I've been writing, and maybe this ties into one of your first one or two questions about how much I've released lately. And I think a lot of the writing for me has been a release. It's been a mechanism of processing what I've been through, what I'm going through, and this whole like transitional phase of life, like it's huge. I really feel that I'm really taking a whole new path that I had never anticipated taking. So who am I without competing? Everything else.
All of it.
Yeah. And I'm really excited this year to be launching my art exhibition. So I'm an artist.
Well, you know what? Unbelievably. Like, actually, really, that actually brings me on to the next one, which is about art and education.
Okay. Because you knew that's what I was going to say.
You know what? Yeah. Because I know her that well. So how did art become a part of your healing journey?
Ooh. Good question. Chapter 17 of my book. If you haven't bought it already, the link's in the description below.
Plug.
So chapter 17 of the book, I do talk about art therapy. I've always been creative. I like to make a mess and just like sensory, probably because you know what I'm like. Undiagnosed, but something's definitely not right. And so I do like making a mess, the sensory thing. I painted a little bit a couple of years ago when I lived in a different apartment. I put some things up on the wall. And then being in this studio and being alone and training being so intense and so, it used to bring my nervous system up and my energy and everything. And when I came home, I found it really hard to like level myself back out on my own. Tried softer music, tried lots of different things, tried meditating, yoga. But actually, once I was like involved in painting something, my whole head just switched off. And obviously that was when I was here alone, but now you've been here, you've actually seen that happen, haven't you, where I can get quite overwhelmed and then I'll just say, I'm just going to do some painting for an hour and I'll just carry on with a painting that I've kind of left half finished. And then it just switches my whole mindset. So
it calms you.
It does. It calms me a lot.
Like, very much so.
And refocuses me, allows my whole overthinking, overactive ADHD brain to just settle. So how did I get into it for healing? Yeah, because it helped me quieten my head.
Okay, great. So the art exhibition is called The Whole Woman Unveiled.
Yeah.
What is it really about?
Okay, so The Whole Woman Unveiled is an educational art exhibition which is designed to make the invisible visible. It's all based around women's health and hormones across their lifespan. So we're not focusing on niches or certain phases of life or certain illnesses or conditions of women. This is covering the broad topics of the whole spectrum of a woman. It's been created through mixed media like painting, creative photography and installations. And the whole point of the exhibition is to open up conversations in an educational way. So each piece of work is coming with a poem that I've written about the work. The poem links the work to women's health in a soft and elegant way. And then amongst the poem, there is a scientific factual box of research facts about that part, phase or condition of women's health and hormones. So it's designed to be a friendlier way than a seminar, a lecture, a webinar, a PowerPoint presentation or a book. More informative than Instagram reels and stuff like this where you don't know if what you're reading is true or false, but also engaging, and it's designed to be an experience rather than a lecture. So I want people to come to the exhibition and I want them to leave the exhibition thinking, feeling and asking questions. I want conversations to be opened. I would expect women to leave feeling validated, men to leave feeling more eye-opened about what their mothers, sisters, daughters, wives go through.
And educated. And
I'm not saying you'll go away with everything you need to know, but it will open up doorways and paths and avenues for you to go and seek further help, support, advice, etc.
Amazing summary.
Thank you.
Have conviction. Okay, so that will bring me on to, why does this exhibition matter now?
Okay, it matters now for every woman on the planet because women's health research is seriously lacking behind. We now know that most medical research has been based on men, white Western men at that. So as medical research is now developing and lots of these new findings are coming out about women are not just small men, we're like a completely different breed of human. Our whole internal system is why we're wired so differently. We have different functions, different hormones, different organs. We are the life force. Like, I know that sounds really extreme, but it's so true. And we do matter. So in the big picture, it matters for every woman. It also matters to me because I'm on the front line of this, in the sense that it's my job. I work with women every day who are either suffering with their mental health, their physical health, their hormonal health. And at the end of the day, in every podcast conversation I've done, I talk about how every single part of health is connected. And that's really, truly what makes holistic health, is we can't just keep looking at niches. And in today's society, everybody is taught and encouraged and mentored to find their niche. And there's nothing wrong with that, because there's space for this, for everybody to find their niche. But nobody's bringing those niches together under one umbrella and saying how your niche is connected to your niche and how yours is connected to yours. So, for example, and then on my own personal level, why this exhibition matters is because I was diagnosed with polycystic ovaries. And at that point in time, the niche doctor, medical professional, never warned me about the impact that that could have in the future on my fertility and on maybe early onset perimenopause and on my mental health because of the lack of progesterone and the knock-on effect of all of it. Over the last 8 years, I just think if somebody could have given me this education 8, 10, 15, 20 years ago, I probably could have handled this whole phase of my life quite differently.
Yeah.
Even though I thought I was doing everything right by strength training and eating well and sleeping and being an athlete and living the life that I did, there was still so much lacking in that. That's why it matters. It matters on the big picture, on my business picture, and on a very personal level.
It's having the knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that brings me on to the book.
Okay.
Which is amazing. So you've spoken for ages about writing a book. I mean, I think we spoke about it when we first ever met in Thailand. We were both going to write a book and you did it. Yay.
Yeah.
So proud. So what pushed you to finally do it?
Yeah, it's so funny you say that, because even when I was at home in the summer last year, my auntie said, oh, I've always wanted to write a book. And she's really into like English literature and that's what she teaches at school.
Okay.
And she was like, but you've actually done it. And I was like, yeah, like, I'm certainly not the kind of person that to say something, like I said earlier, I don't say something willy-nilly. If I say I'm going to write a book, it's because I'm damn well going to write a freaking book. But I also think like that's a really positive part of my characteristic. But I also think sometimes I put a lot of pressure on myself because of that, because like, yeah, but I said I'd do it, so I have to do it. Mm-hmm. And I don't allow myself the flexibility to maneuver. But I'm learning and I'm getting there. I made some big changes today, actually. So what actually made me finally write this book was, we always hear about how journaling is good for your mental health. It's good for being like showing gratitude in your daily life and what you've got. It's really good in a healing journey. Come back to the fact that I was going through a really difficult time with my hormones, my mental health, my physical health, competing, my personal life. And I was kind of just journaling on my laptop, just whenever I was feeling fuzzy, or I was voice noting on my phone to myself on like my dictaphone, and it was typing it all out for me. And then I just thought, if I'm going through this, millions of other girls are going through this. And you know, you go on Facebook and you see these like Facebook groups and girls writing in there, and I'm like, oh, it sounds like me. Oh, I could answer that. Oh, you know. And I just felt like I've got all these notes and journal prompts, and then I kind of put it together. And it took a long time of like piecing it together. And then I think I felt more inclined to publish it once I had the idea of putting in the reflection questions, because it was more of a tool rather than just my story. I invite the reader in to make it about themselves and their own journey as well. And then once I decided that it could benefit other people, to help them perhaps not suffer as much as I feel that I had suffered, I felt like it was really meaningful and purposeful, and I just had to do it.
Well done. Okay, so next book question is, okay, so this is a good one, because obviously of where you know what you work and what you do. So this book, who would you say it's really for?
The current book.
Current book.
Okay, who's it for? Everyone. And I know, everyone's like, no, you've got to niche down and find your audience.
No niche.
But honestly, really, like, I think, obviously all my family have read it. Older, younger generation, male, female, etc., because they care about me. But then on the wider scale of things, I've had messages from people I've never met on LinkedIn who have bought my book and read it. And they have sent me the most profound, heartfelt messages about how touched they are by my authenticity, by my honesty, how vulnerable and how raw I've been in the book. How by telling my story, one gentleman messaged me and he was telling me about how it had made him remember his wife who had passed, and she had PCOS and she was told she couldn't have children, and then by a miracle they had a child together, and unfortunately his wife died. And how my book had just brought nice memories of her and him back together, and that was really, truly amazing. I got a message from a girl in America who had told me how much it had helped her through her breakup. I got a message from a guy in his 30s who was telling me that he was taking his time with the book because he was really enjoying the coaching questions and the prompts. So, I mean, men in their 50s, men in their 30s, in America, in the UK, on LinkedIn, on Instagram, my friends, my family, my clients. So many people have found that book so useful. And I think because it's not specifically about what I went through, and I don't give any details in the book about actually what I went through. I just talk about how I coped with it. And it's the coping mechanisms are such useful tools no matter what you're going through. So the book really is for everybody.
And I think just to kind of add to that, it is a tool because it's not just a story. It, like you say, it doesn't go into detail about what you've been through, but it's a tool. It's a reflection. It's a guide. And, you know, I'm working my way back through it. I read it from front to back and I couldn't put it down, but it's something that you can continually keep going back to. And I think that's really important because you can reflect on, you can use it as many times as you want and keep reflecting on the different stages of your life that you've been through. So I just wanted to add that in there because I think that it's really important.
Yeah. So, yeah, to answer the question, anybody and everybody.
Okay. So coming on to where we are now, 2026.
Yeah.
Just started the new year, and which we're very excited for.
Yeah.
So what do you think now everything's changed in your life and you're here? Where does success lead you now? What does it look like?
I don't know. I'm going to be a bit cliche with this. And I'm going to say success to me this year looks like peace and happiness. Not business, not competing, not trophies, not medals. I don't really know. I do have business goals, but they're flexible. And I potentially maybe might be interested in doing another comp again. I don't really know. But my whole being and success and definition of myself doesn't revolve around that, which I know you'll be just relieved to know.
Such a step forward.
It really is, you know, because it just really is. Success and happiness to me, or success to me this year means remaining in my calm that I have built for myself, remaining steady no matter what is going on with work or people or my surroundings, and just finding happiness in the most simplest of things, which I think I really am doing almost daily at the moment.
Makes me so happy.
Yeah.
Okay, so next would be, oh, this one's fun. I enjoyed writing this one. What excites you more than scares you?
I don't know, because do you remember when we were in Canada and I was really nervous about the competition, and somebody said to me, nerves are excitement.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same feeling. It's just your mind that tells you that it's something different because of the context. So what excites me more than scares me? I think like being excited and being scared are also very similar feelings. My art exhibition excites me beyond words. And it terrifies the out of me.
So you were going to say that.
And this is where my word of 2026 is belief. I need to believe in myself with this. I know it's good. I know it's got legs and it's going to be something. But because it's just uncertain, it's unfamiliar, it's new, it's uncharted territory for me, and that makes it scary. So maybe the answer to that question... Can you read the question again? Because I think I've got it the wrong way around.
What excites you more than scares you?
Okay, so I was going to say what scares me is uncertainty, but also maybe what excites me at the moment is the uncertainty. And do you know how much personal growth has gone into being able to say that sentence? The uncertainty is actually now exciting. Yeah, that's like 2 years of work in the making, that one sentence. Cool, move on.
Well done. Okay, so I think we've spoken a lot about this already, but summarise for me in a few words, what are you stepping into next?
I'm stepping into the season of myself. 'Tis the season to be Scarlett.
Okay, it's not Christmas anymore.
What am I stepping into? The season of new, of believing in myself, of I am so creative I always have been. I was creative as a teacher. I'm creative as a coach. I come up with new different ways of doing things. I was creative with my book. And I have been, for the last 18 months, creating this exhibition in this studio apartment that has become my studio apartment, my bedroom, my kitchen, my living room, my art studio, my photography studio, my podcast studio. Like, creative with my space, with my time, with how people say all the time, how do you do so much? Like, it's just believing in myself, isn't it? So I'm stepping into a season of being me, believing in me, and enjoying it.
Woo!
Yeah.
Okay, so the last question for you is, what would you say to the woman scared to let go of who she used to be?
I know.
This one gives me chills.
What would I say to the woman who's scared to let go of her, who she used to be? There's that quote, isn't there, that says, darling, but what if I fall? Yes, but darling, what if you fly?
Oh, yeah.
And I think it's a Japanese proverb, I'm not sure. I have to check this one. That says something like, the bird never lands on the branch and questions the branch because it trusts its ability to fly. So it's all the same kind of message to a woman. You can't question the other things around you that are changeable. The branch might break. You might fall. All of these things, but you have to trust in yourself and believe in yourself, in your ability to find your way back out and to find your new path. And to know that you might think, I talk about this a lot in my book, you might think that you are alone and you don't have anybody, or that people don't understand you. And this is something I talk to you about a lot. And the only way to figure out those people or to make those people understand you is to talk. And even if sometimes that sounds like utter garbage and gobbledygook and it doesn't make any sense, just talking and getting it out. And eventually the more you hear yourself and the more you say it, the more it starts to make sense. So my message to women who are scared to let go of who they used to be is let go. Let the go and believe in yourself and just follow your intuition. I think women have such a strong intuition, particularly those women who look after their bodies. And that's no disrespect to anybody else. But I do believe that if you eat well, you nourish yourself well, you move your body and you're in tune with your body, your intuition is as sharp as a razor.
Spot on.
And so listen to that. And I talk about that in my second book that's draft. And that's it. Is that all the questions?
That's all the questions.
That was really fun. I really enjoyed that. Thank you.
I enjoyed doing it. I enjoyed doing your part.
Yeah, that was great. I think we should do this again.
So subscribe.
Yeah, girl.
Click below. Join the club. We'd love to have you.
Yeah, stay with us. We're going to be doing lots more of these episodes as the year goes on. I will have more different guests, more conversations about women's health from different perspectives, but I think also we'll be doing a little bit more of these quick fire back and forth.
Yeah, fun.
And I think the next one that should come is I will swap seats with you and we will talk about your year.
Oh God, I'm
because
in the hot seat.
You've got some big things coming up this year, like turning 40.
Oh, good Lord. You have to remind me of, you're going to be fit as by 40 though.
The plan is fit as by 40.
We're going to call the podcast that.
And so, yeah, you're the next guest and that's what we're going to talk about. And it might give some people and the listeners a little bit of encouragement, motivation and some ideas on how they can plan out their year too.
And make 40 mean something.
Yeah, exactly. Amazing. Thanks very much. Subscribe to the channel. Catch you in the next one.